It is 7 p.m. and I call this meeting of the Elgin Independent School District to order. I'd like to announce that there is a quorum of the board present, that this meeting has been duly called and posted in the time and manner required by law. Next item, will recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Ugoni with the ACE department, and he's going to introduce our ACE students to lead us in the pledge.
Good evening, Dr. Reuter, Mr. Mitchell, board members. I have here some of our outstanding students. I have Ada Shakari from EIS, Danny Howard from BTW, Odessa Howard from NIDI, Mia Maldonado from EES, Kalaya Stewart from Harvest Ridge, and Celia Munoz from Trinity Ranch. The flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. The next item on the agenda is public comment. Before we begin, I will remind our audience members of the board's procedures for handling public comment. The public comment portion of our meeting is available to members of the public who wish to address an item on tonight's agenda. Anyone who wishes to speak during public comment must sign in prior to the start of the meeting and list the agenda item they want to discuss. Each public comment speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to address the board. Any public testimony speakers who require a translator will receive up to 10 minutes to address the board. The public comment portion of the meeting will allow all speakers who have signed up before the start of the meeting to address the board regarding an item on tonight's agenda. Please keep your comments and criticisms civil and courteous. Please also avoid using profanity and refrain from making personal attacks on others during the opportunity to speak. Last, we ask that you not discuss students who are not your own child. If a speaker is seeking board resolution of a specific complaint, that concern should be addressed through the district's grievance process. District policy DGPA has been established for addressing employee complaints. Policy FNG is the avenue for filing parent complaints, and policy GF addresses community member complaints. Grievance forms can be obtained at any campus administration office or in the central administration office. Mrs. Wilson will be the timekeeper for this evening, and she'll notify you at the minute mark. First speaker for this evening is Viviana Munoz.
Good evening, Superintendent. My name is Viviana Munoz, and currently I would like to talk about what y'all's plans are to get wrestling at Elgin High School. I myself have reached out earlier in the school year to talk about getting wrestling as a club, as it's not UIL sanctioned here in Elgin. It's something that I very much enjoy. I'm a 2-year varsity wrestler from Houston. I placed at districts multiple times, as well as I am a regional qualifier. And I started a club on my own. I have roughly 10 students who come weekly and we enjoy it. We have a good time. And I've heard rumors about it becoming UIL sanctioned in 2028. And I was just wondering if there would be able to have any way to speed up that timeline, as I will be graduating class of 2027. And I feel that it would be unfair to get the foot in the door to start a wrestling club, teach them the fundamentals, as well as get people excited and interested in it without being able to experience it myself.
We will address that with the administration. Don't answer those questions at this time.
Yes, sir, I understand. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, and please forgive me, I don't want to tear this name. Trashila Kane. Trashila, she'll correct me, I'm sure.
Hello, good evening, Superintendent and School Board. My name is Trahishla Kane, and I'm proudly worked for this district for 6 years, and I've been able to have the opportunity to raise my family and have them start here at Elgin ISD. One of the greatest reasons I've remained here at this district is the child care support. Provided through the Child Development Center. Having access to affordable and reliable childcare has made it possible for me and other employees to continue serving this district while caring for our families. The CDC has provided affordable tuition, nutritious breakfast and snacks, and caring staff who support working families every day. Those supports have made a real difference for district employees like myself. Because of that, I want to respectfully share my concerns regarding the upcoming changes, specifically the tuition increase that will also impact the nutritious breakfast and meals that's being provided. That will no longer be provided by the CDC, that will be provided by the parent. Per this notice, it was sent back on May 1st. I did take the steps at trying to reach out to the E, but I have not received any response back. I understand that operational costs are rising. However, from a parent and an employee perspective, it is difficult to understand paying more while we're receiving less support. Meal and snacks have been a meaningful part of the value families through the CDC, especially for working parents, balancing long hours and daily routines. As stakeholders who serve the district, many of us rely on the CDC because it supports our ability to continue showing up for students every day. Removing food services may appear small on paper, but for working families, it adds additional financial time and planning burdens on top of increased tuition cost. I simply ask for greater transparency and consideration of employee-friendly voice moving forward. I value this district and the CDC staff.
You have one
And I
minute
hope the
remaining.
district, I hope the needs of the district employees and the children continue to remain a priority in the future decisions. And thank you for your time. I just wanted to express those concerns that I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Juanita Valerie Knight.
Good evening, Mr. President, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Ritter. I am speaking tonight as well on behalf of the budget. There are things that are concerning that the community is not aware of. My particular subject tonight is in regards to communities and schools. Being in the workshop, I was able to hear that conversation. I did hear Dr. Carnegie say that they had feedback from principals. My concern is, did you have feedback from staff? Did you have feedback from the communities? Elgin ISD, Communities and Schools operates directly with Elgin ISDs to remove non-academic barriers to education, such as poverty, food insecurities, and mental health challenges. CIS provides wraparound support to keep vulnerable students engaged, on track to not just graduate, but to achieve in life, which I believe Elgin ISD frequently states we want to graduate well-rounded students. Cutting CIS actually costs the districts more. CIS is a public private participation partnership. If I'm incorrect and that has changed, please educate me and let me know. But the district only pays for a fraction of the cost to station a program manager. CIS impacts teacher workload and burnout goals. Elgin ISD's documented improvement goals, which explicitly states student mental health, behavior interventions, and closing academic goals. With that said, if you cut this program, those crises don't just disappear. They simply land on the desks of our already overwhelmed teachers and principals. Do not balance the budget on the backs of our most valuable students and staff. Please keep CIS in Elgin ISD. Our first rating continues to drop, and we can't just blame that on the fast growth. It's about how our taxpayer dollars are spent that directly impact our students. CIS directly impacts our students. Please consider keeping it in our schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren Cannon.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Ritter. My name is Lauren Cannon, and tonight I'm speaking from personal experience and for many families in Elgin ISD who may not always have a voice in rooms like this. Communities in Schools is not just another program in Elgin ISD. For many families, it is the difference between surviving and drowning. I know this because I lived it. When I became a new single mom, I was overwhelmed trying to hold everything together. I was working hard, doing everything I could for my children, and still wondering how I was going to make it all work. There were moments when I truly did not know how I was going to provide certain things that my children needed. Communities in Schools stepped in during one of the hardest chapters of my life and helped my families in ways that I will never forget. They connected us with resources, support, and opportunities that I simply could not have afforded on my own at the time. More importantly, they gave me a peace of mind knowing my children were seen, supported, and cared for. Programs like CIS are not easy to talk about in numbers and budgets, but behind every number is a real family, a real child, and a real parent who is trying their best. The thought of Communities in Schools no longer being here for families in Elgin ISD is honestly heartbreaking. There are parents right now sitting in survival mode, trying to keep food on the table, trying to keep their kids encouraged, and make sure they don't fall behind. CIS helps carry that burden when families cannot do it alone. Not every child has stability waiting for them at home, and not every parent has a support system. Communities in Schools often becomes that support system, and the reality is, if this program disappears, the needs of these families do not disappear with it. The struggles do not magically go away. The only difference is family lose one of the few places they know they can turn to for help. Communities in Schools matter because people matter, families matter, our students matter. And I can say with complete honesty that my own children's lives are better because CIS was there when I needed them the most. Thank you.
Thank you. This concludes the public comment portion of the agenda. Next item, recognitions. Mr. Rodriguez.
Good evening, President Mitchell, Superintendent Ritter, members of the board. My name is Al Rodriguez. I'm your Executive Director of Communications and Community Engagement. We have several recognitions tonight, and we're going to begin with Ms. Howard.
Good evening, President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, members of the board. My name is Maggie Howard, and I have the immense pleasure of serving this district as the Director of CCMR, CTE, and P-TECH. Tonight, I had the honor of presenting several students from career and technical student organizations at Elgin High School who qualified and competed at the state level. First, I'm proud to recognize Elizabeth Salinas for her outstanding accomplishments in automotive service technology through Skills USA Texas. Elizabeth made school history this year by earning first place in automotive service technology at the District 10 Skills USA competition in February. District 10 is the largest and most competitive district in the state. Her advancement marked the first time Elgin High School has advanced to the state level in automotive service technology event, and the first time since 2018 that Elgin has advanced to a State Skills USA competition in any event. At the State Skills USA Leadership Conference in Corpus Christi in April, Elizabeth competed against 26 of the top automotive students from across Texas, completing a demanding 4-hour contest featuring 12 automotive service and professionalism stations designed to test both technical skill and workplace readiness. Elizabeth delivered an impressive performance, finishing within approximately 27% of a perfect score in an exceptionally competitive field. She was also one of only 2 female competitors in the event, further highlighting her determination and commitment to excellence in a traditionally male-dominated industry. Although she narrowly missed qualification for the national contest, her performance reflected an outstanding level of preparation, dedication, and technical ability. Providing support, mentorship, and leadership this year is automotive instructor and Skills USA advisor, Michael Silkett. At the Area 12 CDE contest held at Texas A&M University, the horse judging team earned a 3rd place finish in the area and a 1st place finish. We'll get them all up here. Yeah, get them all up here. Third place finish in area and 1st place finish in Star District, securing a qualifying spot at the state FFA career development event competition. Horse development challenges students' knowledges of equine science and the horse industry as they evaluate and rank horse breeds based on characteristics, conformation, and performance. Competitors also defend their placings through oral reasons presented to official judges and complete a comprehensive written exam. Horse judging team members here tonight are Kavanaugh Fowler, Preston Moss, who placed 17th overall, and Hayden Wenzel, who placed 5th overall out of 126 competitors. The Elgin FFA marketing plan team also recently competed at the state CDE contest hosted by Sam Houston State University in April. The team developed and presented a comprehensive marketing plan for Coyote Creek Organic Feed Mill and Farm, applying real-world business and agricultural marketing skill through a simulated client consultant experience. Competing against some of the top teams in Texas, the team finished just 1 point shy of advancing to the final round and earning a spot among the top 10 teams in the state. Those members, all of them are here tonight: Preston Moss, Nico Munez, and Camila Sandoval. Also, at the Area 12 Speaking Development event held last Thursday, Nico earned a 2nd place finish in the soil stewardship event, securing a spot at the state SDE contest taking place on June 1st. In this event, students are challenged to write and deliver a speech focused on agricultural conservation and the importance of reasonable land management practices and protecting natural resources. Nico's speech focused on soil conservation and groundwater stewardship. And then also worthy of noting, following a rigorous election process against 9 other candidates, Preston Moss was selected as the first vice president of Texas FFA Area 12. We look forward to seeing him take on area leadership during the 26-27 school year. These students dedicated countless hours to preparation this year and represented Elgin FFA with professionalism, leadership, and pride at every level of competition. And advising these state qualifying teams and individuals this year are FFA advisors Becky Moss and Maddie Music. Wildcat Barbecue was proud to host a regional qualifier event last fall, where 2 home teams competed to represent Wildcat Barbecue. Both teams earned placements across multiple categories and secured top 5 overall finishes, qualifying for the Texas High School Barbecue Championship this spring. State advancing team members here tonight are Anna Sustaita, Catherine Rios, Bethany McKenzie, Melanie Rodriguez, and Ureli Arredondo. The Wildcats delivered an impressive regional performance, earning 2 top 3 finishes in ribeye steak, including 1 regional championship title, along with a second-place finish in ribs and 5 additional top 5 category finishes in grilled cheese, chicken, and Dutch oven upside-down cake. At the state contest held in Burnett on May 2nd, the Wildcats once again showcased their talent and competitiveness. Finishing 39th overall among nearly 90 Texas teams, they earned a qualifying spot at the National High School Barbecue Competition taking place next month in the Colony, solidifying their place among the top 100 high school barbecue teams in the nation. Now, in only their 3rd year of competition and having advanced the state all 3 years, Wildcat Barbecue continues to demonstrate remarkable dedication, skill, and teamwork under the leadership of barbecue coach and food science instructor Maddie Music. Finally, I'm proud to recognize the accomplishments of our Wildcat Welders for an outstanding inaugural season competing as an official club in the Texas High School Welding Series. Throughout the year, these welders competed in multiple regional qualifier events and successfully earned advancement to the state competition. Here tonight are Dagan Smith, Jovan Vara, William Velasquez, Juan Medina, Edwin Zuniga, and Michael Cardenas. Together, these students achieved remarkable success throughout the season, earning a combined $52,000 in scholarships, securing 19 industry-recognized welding certifications, and recording 10 top 10 contest placements. At the state competition held this month in Abilene, students competed against nearly 600 qualifying welders from across Texas in the D9.1 3F lap weld certification event. Competitors were challenged to demonstrate advanced welding precision and technique for the opportunity to place among the top 20 and advance to a second round competition for a chance to earn a top 3 title. William Velasquez, Michael Cardenas, and Juan Medina successfully passed the certification weld, earning the industry certification, and Dagan Smith earned a place among the top 20 competitors in the state, advancing to the Day 2 events where he competed in advanced pipe to plate vertical weld challenge. In addition to the certification weld contest, Dagan Smith placed 5th in the torch cutting contest, and Jovan Barb earned 4th place in the AWP knowledge exam. In their very first year of competing as an official club, these students have already established a highly competitive and accomplished program. Their success reflects countless hours of hard work, technical training, commitment to excellence, and the expertise and leadership from their advisors, Andrew Buckler, who could not attend tonight, Brayton Buchanan, and Josh McCartney. Congratulations to all these students and advisors for their exceptional competitive seasons. We can look forward to continued success from these teams in the years ahead.
A lot of hands to shake tonight. Good evening, President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, and the board. My name is Jens Anderson, Athletic Director for Elgin ISD. I have the privilege tonight to recognize our academic all-state recipients for our winter and spring sports. You guys can come on out at this time. If anybody has shown up a little bit late, you can join us on the stage as well. The following members of our athletic program met the requirements to be recognized as academic all-state. The qualifications include being a senior who is in good standing with the athletic program, having an overall high school GPA of 92 or above, as well as the consideration of class rank and ACT and SAT scores. We're extremely proud of all of our athletes, trainers, and managers who have achieved this honor and are pleased to recognize them here tonight. When your name is read, folks, you can kind of stand forward and give a smile and a wave. Wyatt Brockmeyer, second team, tennis and golf. Ethan Weiser, honorable mention, tennis. Javion Nash, honorable mention, boys basketball. Sharpanique Williams, second team, girls basketball and girls track. Trinity Martinez, honorable mention, girls basketball and softball. Julian Vasquez, second team, boys soccer. Jason Galicia, second team, boys soccer. Aurelio Montoya, honorable mention, boys soccer. Eric Portillo, honorable mention, boys soccer. Camila Munoz, second team, girls soccer. Maya Campuzano, second team, girls soccer. Liliana Gueron, honorable mention, girls soccer. Camila Perez, honorable mention, girls soccer. Bianca Galindo, first team, softball. Jalea Price, honorable mention, softball. Benjamin Canton, first team, boys track. Matthew Cato, first team, boys track. Xavier Sade, second team, boys track. Angel Castaneda Aguiar, second team, boys track. Legacy William, honorable mention, girls track. Zaire Clemens, honorable mention, girls track. Bella Nevejas, honorable mention, girls track. Cava Fields, honorable mention, girls track. Paloma Ortiz, second team, golf. And Sebastian Monroy, second team, boys powerlifting. The next group I have the privilege to recognize are our regional qualifiers for boys and girls track. You guys can come on out. Some of them are having to go all the way around here. They were just up here for academic all-state. These athletes worked extremely hard this season and truly made us proud on the track. Run fast and turn left. We also have some of our coaches joining us here tonight. Y'all are running fast and turn left right now. Good job. First recognition is to Mr. Matthew Cato, who qualified for regional track in the 3,200, which is 2 miles, which is a long ways to run and turn left. Matthew had a PR in the season of 9:33:32 and finished in 7th place at regionals. Matthew Cato. There you go. Next is our girls 4x100 meter relay consisting of Zaire Clemens, Avery Rodman, Heaven Crawford, Tamara Walker, and alternates Royal Brown and Bella Nevejas. The relay qualified from the area meet in regionals with a 4th place finish and a time of 50.26 seconds. And finally, yeah, there you go. We'll clap for them every time. And finally, Miss Tamara Walker also qualified for regionals in the 100 meter dash, having secured 1st place in the district meet a couple of weeks prior with a season best time. And for everything we can find, at minimum, tie the school record of 12.24 seconds in 100 meter. Tamara Walker. Also joining us on the stage are head girls track coach Caleb Calderon, head boys track coach Charles Hodge, and assistant coaches Hope Pollock and Jessica Stone.
Shake hands, kiss baby.
Good evening, President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, and members of the board. I am Dr. Bianca Villarreal Ritter, Coordinator of Dual Credit Programs in Early College High School, and tonight, Elgin High School is proud to recognize 6 outstanding early college high school students who recently represented Elgin ISD and Austin Community College through an exceptional college-level research project completed in their English 1302 course. So the students are Aurelia Guerrero, Caitlin Schultz, Zoe Nunnery, Sky Ordinario, Alexa Perez, and Stefania Guijarro. Their research project was titled Austin's Addiction, Exploring the Drug Problem in Austin, Texas. And it was accepted into a prestigious Austin Community College Student Research Symposium where they presented their findings on April 25th at ACC Highland. What made this project extremely special was they were the only high school students at that symposium amongst traditional adult ACC students. Guided by the research question, how does drug abuse affect individuals and communities? Each student conducted extensive research and interviewed a community member to better understand the causes, consequences, and broader societal implications of substance abuse. Their work explored several critical themes, including dangers and consequences of drug abuse, the importance of a strong and supportive community, and the effects of ostracization and stigma on individuals struggling with addiction, and the impact of societal corruption on the distribution of drugs. Students also examined the factors that can lead individuals towards substance abuse and propose ways society can help mitigate this growing issue through education, prevention, advocacy, and compassionate support. As a part of their presentation, they provided the audience members with a wealth of resources for individuals and families affected by addiction, including treatment and counseling services, as well as organizations where community members can donate or volunteer to support recovery efforts. These students conducted their research using a structure that very closely mirrors the methodology and format commonly used in a master's thesis or doctoral dissertation. They accomplished this level of scholarship as high school juniors, demonstrating extraordinary maturity, yes, critical thinking, and academic rigor. Their work gives us great hope for the future advocates, researchers, and leaders they are becoming. Please join me in congratulating these students and their outstanding academic achievement. No. Hey.
I'm going to step in for Mr. Reyes, who couldn't be here tonight, so I have his prepared speech for you. Hopefully I can do it better than him. We'll see. Good evening. I'm proud to share some exciting news that reflects the heart of who we are as a district. In early April, Elgin ISD was named a Capturing Kids' Hearts National Showcase District, the highest recognition award by the organization for school systems demonstrate exceptional culture, strong relationships, and a deep commitment to students. The honor is especially meaningful because it comes just 3 years after we began our partnership with Capturing Kids' Hearts. In a relatively short time, our staff has embraced the work in a way that clearly is making a difference in our students. To put this in perspective, only about 30% of participating districts nationwide receive this distinction. That places Elgin ISD among a select group of districts across the country that are leading the way in building positive, student-centered learning environments. In addition to the district recognition, 6 of our campuses were also honored with national level implementation awards. Booker T. Washington, Elgin Elementary, Harvest Ridge, Nidec Elementary, and Elgin Intermediate all received the Showcase Award. Trinity Ranch Elementary received a Rising Star Award. I'd like to pause here for a second to recognize the leaders, teachers, and staff at each of these campuses. Their recognition is a direct result of their daily commitment to students. At its core, capturing kids' hearts is about one simple idea: relationships come first. When students feel seen, valued, and supported, they are more engaged, more confident, and more successful, not just academically, but as individuals prepared for, quote, the Elgin essentials of life beyond school. This work directly aligns with our district priorities and reflects the culture of what we want in every classroom and every campus. I want to thank our board for your support and for this work, and to our staff for bringing it to life each and every day for our students. Thank you. Mr. Reyes.
Good evening, President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, members of the board. We're proud to recognize the teachers in Elgin who have earned designations through the Texas Teacher Incentive Allotment. This distinction represents more than a title. Earning a TIA designation requires demonstrated excellence measured through classroom observations and documented student growth. The 3 levels of designation are recognized, exemplary, and masters, and are earned through our locally approved designation system. These levels represent the highest levels of teacher effectiveness in the state. I'd like to start by acknowledging our recognized teachers: Margarita Almazan, Leah Anderson, Joanna Baugh, Emily Brahan, Kimberly Carlin, Zena Casales, Tessa Joyner, Jacqueline Lagunas, Taylor Picorni, Alba Quiroz de Corona, Amber Rivera, and Mindy Torres. These teachers represent or are a part of the top 33% performing teachers in Texas. Now I'd like to present our exemplary teachers: Dorothea Bell, Amanda Cáceres, Emily Conrad, Crystal Contreras, Luz Echartea, Christina Guerra, Christine Hernandez, Hazel Humphreys, Alex Lundgren, Monica Martinez, Cynthia Nix, Jose Padilla, Annabelle Rios, Martha Salas, Tina Terrell, and Amy Wells. These teachers are among the top 20% in the state of Texas. And finally, I'd like to present our master teachers: Jeanette Courtney, Caitlin Culp, Anna Fensel, Jessica Garza, Michelle Gonzalez, Dagmar Hansen, Ashley Richardson, Kimberly Rodman, and Erin Tatro. These teachers are among the top 5% in the state of Texas. These teachers earn these designations based on the 24-25 data. We will be submitting our 25-26 data in October to TEA, and we will bring you a whole new group of teachers next year this time. Thank you.
I was trying to get her to walk this way, but she decided to go down the. Emily White will present our One Town, One Dream Award.
Good evening, President Mitchell and Superintendent Ritter and members of the board. This evening, we are celebrating our One Team, One Dream recognition. As you know, our theme this year for the 25-26 school year has been We're All in This Together. And each month we've been recognizing someone who meets that qualification. Our first honoree tonight comes from Harvest Ridge Principal Megan Worley. And she says that Joanna Smith, the librarian at Trinity Ranch Elementary, truly exemplifies the spirit of Elgin ISD's One Team, One Dream Award. Mrs. Smith has taken Harvest Ridge Elementary under her wing and has been purchasing books, helping their library in a variety of ways. She supports them by helping purchase books, working with vendors, and ensuring that they receive important communication and all kinds of resources. Congratulations to Joanna Smith. Our next honoree comes from Maggie Howard, our Director of CTE, CCMR, and PTEC, who says that Bo Godfrey, a United States Air Force veteran and chairman of the Bastrop County Cruisers, exemplifies the spirit of We're All in This Together through his strong advocacy and support for students and programs at Elgin High School. In his leadership role, he actively champions the automotive program and the National Naval Defense Corps of Cadets, fostering career readiness, leadership, and community connection. Congratulations to Bo Godfrey.
That concludes our recognitions for the evening.
Thank you. Wonderful round of recognition. Let's give them one more round of applause. All right, next item, action items and business regarding the May 2nd, 2026 Board of Trustees election, the issuance of certificate of election and signing statement of office, and then the swearing in the newly elected Board of Trustees.
I have a question. Did you have the canvas of the votes? Did we canvas the votes? You did? Okay.
The two members that canvassed the votes were Mr. Baker and Cheryl Reese.
You can do that?
Yes,
I mean, my question is that if you're a candidate in the county or also in county, but you have to-
they're just verifying what the votes that were turned in.
so, I mean,
Mrs. Martin, was there any?
We get results from Bastrop County, and then I put them in a spreadsheet. We attach the results from the county as well. And the canvas, it's legally required just to verify what the county gives me.
yeah, and it's usually two board members, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But it's okay. So it is legal to have, for a board member to canvass, even though they're on the election? I just want to make sure that we are clean,
Yes, ma'am.
not like.
We appreciate the question. Thank you. Mrs. Martin?
Good evening, President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, Board of Trustees. My name is Melanie Martin. I'm the Executive Assistant to the Superintendent at School Board. At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Mitchell and Ms. Reese, please come forward to the stage or some official documents that need to be signed before we can get them sworn in. Mr. Mitchell, if you could please sign the two certificates of election there on the top for yourself and for Ms. Reese, please. After that, there is the statement of officer for each of you to sign, please. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Not that. At this time, we will swear in the newly elected trustees. Trustees, please raise your right hand. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of the Elgin ISD Board of Trustees
of the office of the Elgin ISD Board of Trustees
of the state of Texas
of the state of Texas
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state, so help me God.
and of this state, so help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Mitchell and Ms. Reese. Thank you.
Yes, this time we'll turn it over to Dr. Ritter.
The floor is now open for nominations for board president.
I nominate Byron Mitchell for board president.
Byron Mitchell has been nominated for the office of president. Are there any further nominations for the office of president? Then if not, nominations are closed. All in favor of Byron Mitchell as board president, raise your hand. Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Byron Mitchell is elected president. Congratulations.
Thank you. At this time, the floor is now open for nominations for board vice president. Tanisha Wilson has been nominated for vice president. Are there any other nominations? Nominations are closed. All in favor of Tanisha Wilson as board vice president, please respond by aye and raising your hand as well. Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations, Mrs. Wilson. Next, the floor is now open for nominations for board secretary.
I nominate Cheryl Reese. She's done a great job this year.
The nominations for Cheryl Reese. Are there any other nominations? None. Nominations have closed. All in favor, respond by aye and the raising of your right hand. No opposing. Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations, Mrs. Reese. And then finally, the floor is now open for nominations for board parliamentarian.
I nominate Mr. Barry Barker.
Nominations for Mr. Barry Barker. Are there any other nominations? Nominations are closed. All in favor, respond by aye, the raising of your right hand.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion passes 7-0. Congratulations. This completes the reorganization of the board for this evening. Thank you. Next item, we call for approval of the minutes of the April 20th, 26th board workshop and regular meetings, the May 1st, 2026 special call meeting, and the May 13th special call meeting.
I make a motion that those meeting minutes be accepted.
Motion by Mrs. Reese, second by Mr. Baker. Any other question? All in favor of said motion, please raise your right hand. Any opposers? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. Next item, superintendent's report.
Right. We are excited to say at our Wildcat Welcome that we held for Elementary Roundup, we have already enrolled 170 new students to Elgin ISD. Excited to welcome those little guys into our schools. And it was a very successful Wildcat Welcome where families were able to come and get a shirt and visit the campus and get to meet with staff, the principals, and some teachers there, and just really give them an opportunity to feel very welcome at their new campuses. So this is always an exciting time when we have those new families moving in and coming to our schools. And this includes like our pre-K and kinder, their first time in school. Next, we got to celebrate our seniors. These past few weeks, it's been amazing, all of our senior celebrations. And one of them was signing day. We had signing day for our Wildcat athletes. We had some students who were going for different sports and going to go play at the college level. We also had signing day for our students who were going and serving in the military and who are also going for performing arts and other scholarship opportunities in their universities that they have chosen. It was a great, exciting opportunity for them to be celebrated, and we thank you to Ms. Staples and her staff for making it such a special time for those kids. Next, we had our Elgin High School Academic Awards. Our students collectively received over $7 million, although I think that might have even been higher than that. I think it was like $9 million. in scholarships at the academics awards ceremony. And this is where our students received their scholarships and were acknowledged and celebrated for the scholarships that they have received for academic recognition. And we also had lots of community support and those folks who from our community who were there to present those scholarship awards, many of you in this room. And so we can't say enough about what a great event this is and a great time to celebrate our kids. And we so appreciate all of the support with scholarship money that our community has collected for our kids. And they're really looking forward to using that scholarship money where they're going to go in their next stage. So we're happy for those kiddos. We also had the academic recognition ceremony for our top 10%. This was the event in which our Elgin Education Foundation, who we thank so much for supporting and sponsoring this, and our students all got some scholarship money from EEF, and they got to invite one significant adult from their past through their K through 12 journey in Elgin ISD, and they got to invite that significant adult to join them on the stage. The adult received a great framed picture of the student and the adult with something that the student had written about them, and we read those off, and it was just a really special event. So again, thanks to Elgin High School for a great event, and we got to hold so much of this in our new auditorium. Boy, that is special right there. How great to have that facility to celebrate our kids. So another great event. Next, we had Teacher Appreciation Week was this past week with lots of celebrations across the district at all of our schools. And we can't say enough. It was great to honor our teacher incentive allotment teachers tonight. But we're so appreciative of all of our teachers and the hard work that they put in for our students. Just lots of commitment, dedication, and sacrifice. And we thank all of our teachers for their hard work and what they do for our kids in Elgin. We were able to have our Elgin number 6 elementary community meeting and received lots of great feedback from parents and community members who attended, and were able to see some initial layouts of a new campus that's going to be going up in Elgin soon. It's our next elementary school, number 6, if you can believe it. And the Lund Farm community is where that is going to be built. And so they also got to select and vote on some different aspect or concepts, I guess, of what the school externally would look like and what kinds of things they liked about the school. We had lots of participation in staff and some parents. It was just a really good activity for everyone to participate in. So more on that as we continue that design process for the new elementary school that's coming. Next, we had ACC graduation and the chancellor's reception. This is celebrating those kids who have already graduated. They get this degree before they graduate from Elgin High School. So they've already graduated from ACC, and it was a phenomenal, both 2 different evenings, but phenomenal evenings to celebrate these kids. We are very proud of our students in our early college high school program and our P-Tech welding and our students who have the 4 years of hard work, dedication, and it really pays off. And we're very, very proud of these kiddos. And looking ahead, we have our Phoenix High School graduation on May 21st. In our auditorium, our end of year ceremony for all staff, where we will be highlighting all of our staff in different awards, retirees and years of service, teachers of the year, and employees of the year for different departments. And those will be held in our new auditorium. Our Elgin High School graduation at Shoreline on May 22nd, Friday night this week. And then we're closed for Memorial Day, and summer school starts June 1st. So I saw them pulling together supplies for summer school today. I can't believe it's already time. So an exciting time for all of us, and we wish all of our students and families a safe and restful summer. Lastly, our current enrollment is 6,171 students. Still growing, and we're welcoming those kids every single day. Looking forward to all of them. They're going to be joining our district. Thank you.
Next item is the President's report. The only thing I'll have, because there'll be an event going on before our next meeting, we will be celebrating Elgin Juneteenth on June the 11th through the 13th. So we invite the community to come out for that. It's always lots of fun, food, and music. So, and as far as the board members, or anybody to report on anything or any committees that they've served on prior to this meeting?
So a couple of weeks ago, I had the pleasure of meeting with Ms. Staples at the high school for a few hours, meeting with some of the teachers and some of the students. And it was so rewarding because what it did, like this can get really political fast. It's just the nature of the business that we do, right? But it reminded me of why I decided to run, right? It grounded me in it's always students first. And so it was great to be able to see that and see some of the kids that I see out in the community and run up to me like, what are you doing here? And I was like, watching. I'm always watching and seeing what y'all are doing, but doing amazing things at the high school as all of our schools are. But I do encourage our board members, if you have an opportunity, get with the principals, see if you can spend some time at the school, just seeing this is our why. This is why we're here. So I really enjoyed that. I thank you, Ms. Staples, for that.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, this concludes the president's report. We'll move to the consent agenda.
Motion.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh. Being asked to approve tax report refunds and adjustments for April 2026, approve financial statement and budget amendment listing for April 2026, approve investment report for April 2026, approve budget amendments for the 12 months ending June 30th, 2026, approve the designation of the officer of the 2026 tax rate calculations, approve purchases greater than $50,000, consider approval of a contract with Panorama Education for the MTSS student database for 2026-27. Consider approval of a contract with Same Goal for use with compliance and documentation for special programs for 2026-2027. District-wide phone system. Consideration and approval of wastewater connection contract. RFP 2026-12 special program services. Approval of purchase of 2 vehicles for CTE, approval of the purchase of a rescue utility truck for transportation services, approve staffing recommendations, consider approval of electric easement at Elgin Elementary, consider approval of water line easement for Legacy Oak Middle School, and consider approval of resolution declaring former church site as surplus property. That comprises the consent agenda. Are there any questions?
I had a question on Panorama. I wanted to find out what system are we currently using to document that data?
So currently we are using Panorama. We just finished up a contract with them that I believe was a 5-year contract. It may have been 4. It was either a 4 or 5-year contract that ends this year in 25-26. Previously, we had contracted with them for surveys for students, families, and staff, as well as our MTSS database. After getting feedback from our campus principals and talking at the cabinet level, we believe we can do the surveys in-house at a much lower cost. So we no longer have the surveys on the approval list. So with Panorama, we will only be renewing the MTSS database portion.
Would you go ahead and tell us what the MTSS part is?
Thank you. Yes, I will. It is a multi-tiered systems of support. So any student who maybe needs a little bit of extra support to meet the grade level expectations has information in this database where teachers work to set goals for the student. They document what interventions they'll be using in order to help those students reach those goals. And then we use it to track and see if those interventions are working. And if they're not, then what are we going to do differently?
Okay. So then the other question I had about that data is at the end of a contract, if we decide not to go back with them, how would we get our data, or would they keep our data?
We would get it in a download. I don't know that I can speak to Panorama specifically because I haven't asked that question of them, but just in general, whenever we leave a particular product, we negotiate with them the best way to get our data. Sometimes it's that we download it ourselves. Sometimes it's that they can provide it to us in a particular format, but we would own that, add that data at the end of the contract.
And if we have to download it ourselves, what system would we be downloading it into?
Well, we would ask David DeBrock, the technology director, the best way to do that. Often what we do is if it were to go away, we would be replacing it with a different product because we need to track that information.
Right.
And so we would see what file formats and such would upload into the new system and do it that way.
Do we have kind of like a backup system, Mr. David in the event that, something happened with, Panorama, I don't know, they could get, corrupted, their files or whatnot, but is there a backup system that we are looking at possibly having?
Believe they host that. Correct. And so that they have all backups in place with their system. So if we decide to discontinue it, then we would work with whoever we were going with and figure out how to get that data migrated to the system.
Okay.
But we require them to have those backups when they're hosting it.
I'm just thinking of the bus transportation thing when we were trying to download the information from them for the bus schedules. We had an issue because the systems were not compatible. So was just kind of thinking ahead on that. No, I think that's it. Thank you so much.
All right, any other questions about the consent agenda?
Motion to pull and table item H6E from the consent agenda.
Motion to pull item 6E, ARP 2026 Special Program Services.
Do that later date. You want to
What?
look at it later and pull it?
I prefer that we tabled it, but if we want to discuss it, that's
Okay. Okay.
just.
Well, that's been a motion by Mr. Barker. Is there a second to that?
A second.
Second by Mrs. Wilson. All right, so there's been a motion and a second to pull that item for later consideration. All in favor of that, raise your right hand. Opposers? One. Okay, that's passes 6-1. That item will be pulled for later consideration. All right, so with that pull, now I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda as is. Motion by Mr. Baker. Second by Mrs. Wilson to approve the consent agenda. Any questions? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Any opposers? One abstention. So motion passes 6 with one abstention from Mr. Barker. Thank you. Next item, information item, update on construction projects, including the 2021 and 2024 bonds. Mr. Rainey.
Good evening, President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, Board of Trustees. Excited to bring you another update on our construction projects across the district. Each month we've got a lot of progress, so it's nice to be able to get in front of everybody and show them updates to the projects. Right here, we've got a shot of Elgin Middle School number 2, Legacy O, that we'll jump into in a minute. But this project does seem to move very quickly every time we take a look. Here at the transportation facility, this is really the last project, the last large project we see with the 2021 bond. In the consent agenda, what we see was an approval for the wastewater connection. This is really one of two things holding up completion on this project, FM 1100 expansion and this wastewater connection to Triata. On this diagram, you can see the proposed route there. At the bottom of the screen is the overall site for the transportation site there on the Elgin ISD property side, and to the north is the Triata side. So what we've negotiated with the adjacent property owner is a connection to their wastewater line. While they've started some construction on that Triata development, they've had some challenges with permitting authorities, and they are, I won't say stalled right now, but they've slowed a little bit. But we're going to be allowed to go ahead and continue our wastewater connection following that yellow line. Ultimately, it'll end up a little bit further to what's planned north here, ending up at FM 1100, just a little further to the west. So thank you for the approval on that. We'll work with the contractor to go ahead and get that work started. That'll last be about a 90-day schedule. So that'll put us out in the summer. By that time, we do hope that we have some progress with FM 1100 expansion and TxDOT. And again, the adjacent developers will be involved in that conversation as well. That's a multi-party endeavor to get turn lanes installed on FM 1100 all the way west down to First Baptist. So This project is moving forward, but there's a few things that are outside of our control, but we are still seeing some progress. Harvest Ridge Elementary portables will be installed. Right now, we're targeting fall installation for these. We do have drawings back. These aren't super impressive, I'll admit. They're just black and white renderings. Right now, we have selected some colors, but portables as they are, they'll go quick. They'll be delivered and then we'll get utilities installed. But we are working with the permitting authorities, even though it's just a small project. We still do have to work with City of Elgin, Altus and Mud, the Municipal Utility District, Fire Marshal, Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, all the permitting authorities that you would have to for a larger project. So a lot of hoops to jump through for this, but things are moving forward. We're excited to be able to give the campus a little bit more space there. And again, we expect to have those in place this fall. Priority maintenance projects with 21 bond. You've seen this slide in a similar format before, but through some recent conversations with administration, we did change up the schedule just a little bit. We saw a lot of progress in this gray area on this slide. We gave notice to proceed to the contractor to get started in the gray area, what was formerly the pre-K hallway. They've made significant progress in that. And we do expect most of that area to be released in early June. They think most of that work will be completed within the next month or so. As soon as school is out at the end of this week, they'll move into the office area, the library, the cafeteria, and get started in that. Target completion for that area will be July 30th rather. So they've got a lot of work to do over the approximately 8 weeks of summer. And then they'll transition into that orange area. So they'll stay at the front of the building, get that work completed. There's about 6 classrooms and a couple of adjacent rooms there. But they'll work to get all of that area on the south of this sheet completed. And then in the spring of 2027, they'll move into that blue area on the back side of what is the north area of the building closest to the playground. They'll hit that area next spring. And if that takes a little bit longer, we don't anticipate that it will, but if for some reason they run into challenges, they could just extend that work into the summer next year. But overall, we're pleased with this schedule. The contractor's already making quick progress. We're coordinating with in-house teams, our technology team. We've got furniture movers coming at the end of this week. So it'll be a quick process, but we're pleased with the work that's already been seen.
Randy, how long has this project for the HVAC's been going on?
How long?
Yes, sir.
So it'll last another year. So we've got, again, based on this, we'll see them all the way through to next summer. So they'll just continue to rotate through based on the enrollment numbers that we're seeing at this campus. We do have some empty wings. We worked with the campus administration to strategically locate the students. So as they move through, some of these wings will be empty just based on the lower numbers that we're seeing at this campus right now. So as they move into that orange area, for example, that area of the campus will be empty as we move into fall. When the students come back in the fall in August, there won't be any students in that area. So the contractor will just move into that space and then they'll hop into the space in blue in the spring. So January next year, they'll move into that area in the blue. We won't have students in that area. So we've worked with Ms. Martinez and her staff to coordinate that to make sure students are able to logistically move around to the empty spaces of the building and avoid interaction with the contractor.
You make an interesting point. We have space over at, this is Elgin Elementary School.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know we talked about the portables going in at Harvest Ridge. I was just kind of trying to figure out why we didn't move some students from Harvest Ridge over to Elgin Elementary since we do have space over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think as we consider rezoning, this would have been something that we'd have to get pretty creative with to zone students from the Harvest Ridge and that northern boundary and funnel them into here. They're obviously right now not in the same boundary. So we would have to would have had to redraw boundaries to get those students into here. But I think as we go through the next couple of years, we know boundaries are going to be aligned, for example, for Legacy Oak Middle School. So those are some things we're going to have to evaluate over the next couple of years is what those new elementary alignments look like.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
Try to balance those out. Continuing priority maintenance projects. Last month, I showed you all a picture of some of the work that we're doing on the middle school stadium right behind us, some structural upgrades to some of the rusted metal This is an oversight, an overview rather, of the entire project. On the left side of the screen, you can see the concessions and the restroom building, but really what I want to point out is the highlighted areas. That's a lot of the paving and concrete upgrades that are going to be on the site that will allow for better circulation and access, ADA parking, things that either don't exist at all right now or are in very poor condition. So really this is kind of a two-tiered process with this project. There are some structural upgrades to the steel and the wood decking, but the other half of this is ADA upgrades at that campus. Just has not seen it all, or when they were there, it was decades ago, and they've just been in disrepair for quite some time. So between the two, this project will look much, much better by the time students are playing on this site again in September. So this is just a quick oversight for that. Combination of 2021 and 24 and priority maintenance projects. On the left there, this project, it looks pretty busy, but I wanted to point out just a couple of features. On the left, one of the goals of our playground replacements at the 3 elementaries were really to provide some balance with the play elements that we see. The playgrounds across the district, we've got a different number, different ages playing all of these. So as we look, you can see on that diagram there, there's slides and climbers, there's handicap accessibility aspects to this. That was one of the targets when we looked at this project. We didn't just pick, a pretty or exciting playground. We were very strategic and thoughtful as we looked at these to try to balance as best we could to make sure the playgrounds across the district, whether it's at some of the older campuses or some of the newer campuses, had as close to possible the same number of those play elements, climbing structures, slide features, transfer stations for those that are less mobile, those types of features. So those are some of the things that we took into consideration as we made playground selections for each of the campus. So, folks may wonder, how did we arrive at decisions on which campus and which school got what type of playground? Well, these are some of the decisions that went into that. Colors can be, blue or green or whatever, but these are ultimately some of the things that helped guide our decisions as we went through that. On the right side, you see gym and bleachers at Elgin High School and Middle School. The image there is, of course, the large bleachers at the high school. Those bleachers will be refurbished. They've got some decking repairs that need to be made. There are some missing seats and end pieces. We'll certainly take care of that. In Elgin Middle School, in their large gym, they will get a full bleacher replacement. We've just had a number of repairs that just haven't been able to hold up. So we'll have a full replacement there. But overall, we worked with the campus administration to make them aware of that, and Coach Anderson as well, to make sure activities that were in those areas can either be relocated or we can work around them. So we're excited about being able to give them some better accessibility for the fans. Moving into 2024, we did have a big milestone there for Legacy Oak Middle School. This is a few images of our bead signing, or our topping out ceremony that we had back on April 27th. This was a great turnout. I know a couple of board members were there. Our administration was there. This was really a celebration for the workers on site to give them just acknowledgement for finishing out all the structural steel on that facility. It's come a long way. So we got some nice images there of our team. But that was a great acknowledgement and accomplishment for those crews. Inside the building, we can see stairs already going up. So we're accessing the second floor of that building and moving on up there. Interior wise, we've got a lot of drywall going in there. You can see the different types there. All the overhead MEP fire suppression systems are going in, moving along there. And then the overview site. You can see the two larger sections there. That's the two gyms. We've got roofing there. The lighter gray sections, that's exterior waterproofing going on. Again, overhead and in-wall mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems continue to be installed across the campus. Further north in that picture, you can see it's a little more complete. If you look down in the bottom section, you can just see some skeleton of the structural steel there. So they'll just continue progressing down through those classroom wings. On any given day, they've got about 200 workers on that site. So it's a very busy site. As we get it more and more closed in, any rain days we have will be less and less impactful. Those workers can just continue to work inside. So we've been out there on some pretty wet days, and contractors, they just stay inside and stay working. So it's been good. They've had a few rain days that they had to claim, but not very many. So It's good to see all the concrete driveways being poured, so circulation around the site again is not being heavily impacted at this point due to rain. Those types of things are not as impactful as they were early on, so making really good progress. CTE press box back out at the stadium. You can see here we're making quick progress here as well. Interior framing is going up. You can see the metal framing, the door frames there are in. Overhead ductwork, overhead mechanical systems overall are complete. Overhead fire suppression lines are now complete. These photos are a few weeks old. Front canopy, though you can't be seen in this picture, that is installed now, but exterior sheathing, that's the yellow you see there. That'll continue all the way around. Down in the circulation area, when you think about access to restrooms and concessions, they're getting ready to pour that concrete. There was some drainage and things they had to do around there, but they're getting ready to pour that. But you'll see window installation in this building before you know it. If you drive out there in the parking lot, you'll be getting to see windows going in soon. A couple of months ago, we were brought to you electrical switch gear for approval. So we'll see electrical gear being replaced in June. So part of this area out there at the stadium will have an electrical shutdown for a few weeks coming up in June, but that'll allow those folks to install all new electrical out there. That'll serve everything at the stadium. So that'll be a great improvement for that site. But overall, we're still on track for a November 2026 completion, and this will be a really nice facility for both CTE and athletics. They were on site last week. Maggie Howard, Jens Anderson got to go up in there and take a look around, and it was really exciting to get some of our end users in the facility. Nice for them to just take a look and get a bird's eye view from both sides. Our Homestead CTE culinary, again, sticking with CTE for a little while. It's nice to create these unique spaces for them. Framing drywall is going up really quickly. You can see there on the top left that insulation drywall and framing nearing completion. On the bottom left, we've got some large HVAC equipment is already set. We expect HVAC equipment to be started up close to the end of this month, maybe early June. So it's getting close to be a conditioned space. We've got some ductwork nearing completion. You can see on the right-hand side there the size of those vent hoods. That's one of two that'll be in that culinary kitchen. It's just a great space for our students to give them an opportunity to learn some of the culinary skills that'll be taught in that class. But that's a really unique space, and that's a really large hood once you're in there. But some of that work will continue overhead, the mechanical, electrical, plumbing. Fire sprinkler work is underway even this week. But overall, we are still continuing to stay on track with the scheduled completion of August of 2026. So exciting to think just a few months away, we'll have students in this space. And as Dr. Ritter mentioned earlier, we did have a community meeting just last week for elementary number 6. This is a drone shot of Lund Farm. If you've driven north on County Line Road, you may have seen the construction for that development. Lund Farm, they've already driven by there this morning. They've already got some of these roads paved. So this narrow site there right against the road, that's their first section of that development. They expect to have that ready by early June, and then they'll go into further sections of the development. But you can see back in the red, that's approximately where our school site is at. So it's a 12-acre site set for about 800 students. So be similar capacity to what we've seen in Harvest Ridge and Trinity Ranch, roughly 85,000 square feet. So again, we'll continue with our internal stakeholder meetings. We'll likely have another 1 or 2 community meetings. We do want to continue to gather valuable input from our community folks. But overall, construction timeline will be contingent upon future bond sales. But we know the kids are still continuing to come. So we'll continue with design, and then we'll see where we go with bond sales from there. Any questions?
Just a few.
Yes, sir.
As far as the HVAC systems at Elgin Elementary, what is the lifespan of those improvements? Seem to be doing a lot of HVAC work at that school.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great question. We like to say at least 15 years. Most of our equipment that we've been replacing is 20 years plus. So some of the equipment has been 18 to 22. We replaced some, to your point, we awarded, I think, 3 HVAC projects this past summer. Some of the equipment that we replaced at the high school, for example, was from the original, on the field house was from the original 2003, when that field house went up 2003, 2004. So it was 23 years old. So we like to say 15 years is a good mark. It's not to say it won't run after that, but efficiency decreases significantly. At that point, you're often just pouring money into it with constant repairs. So that's when we start to target putting funds toward replacement. But we know that's not always feasible. So we certainly still have a lot more throughout the district that's older than 15 years.
And just one more question, as it relates to the bleacher repairs at the high school, as part of that, will they be improving those railings?
What is it?
The railings that are part of those bleachers? And rails?
Right now, there are no plans called out to improve the bleachers, the grandstands, but that is something we could look at. But it wasn't called out on the facility condition assessment. But that is a process that we are going through right now to evaluate conditions across the district. So that's something we'll look at closely and see if that's something we need to address.
Yeah, I mean the gym.
Oh, in the gym?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize.
Sorry.
I thought, yes. As we refurbish the bleachers, the handrails, yes, all will be replaced so that they're back the way they were when that set of bleachers was new. Yes, sir. Apologies for the misunderstanding.
Oh, no problem.
I have a couple of questions. On the recycling, as you're changing the playground systems out at the different elementary schools, are we recycling those old playground equipment to any particular place or
with
scrapping them?
The metal itself will be recycled.
Okay.
The plastic, I honestly could not tell you. But the metal itself will be, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. And then we're replacing the canopy already at Harvest Ridge.
The courtyard at Harvest Ridge did not have a canopy. The playgrounds did, but the courtyard itself did not. That was something we discovered at Trinity Ranch that needed one, and it was too late at Harvest Ridge to add it. And we've just been trying to get in there at any opportunity. We tried to do it at Christmas break, and we just didn't have enough time. And unfortunately, we just kept having to put it off until we had a longer window to get in there. We're gonna have to take down part of the fence. There's some, and if you remember, that's artificial turf there in that courtyard. At Harvest Ridge, it has some little mounds that at the time we all thought was a good idea. But what they've done, the smaller students don't see them and they run into them and they trip and fall. So we're going to take those mounds out of the artificial turf. So it's going to be a little bit bigger project than what we initially thought. So summer ended up being the best time to do that.
Okay, but we are replacing the canopies at the other playgrounds.
If they're torn, yes, ma'am. There's, I think, 6 or 7 in the project. We evaluated them. Some of them have been replaced with insurance money over the past few years as big storms came through. Some of them were torn or ripped or pulled off. So some of them are 3 or 4 years old. So some of them are in better than.
Right, and some of them were real dirty.
So we took an alternate, there was an alternate bid in this package to pressure wash anything that's left.
Okay.
Canopy poles, canopies, so everything will look new. Even if it's not replaced, it'll be pressure washed at the end.
Okay.
Yep. That was part of the package. Yes, ma'am. Great question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next item, priority for update fiscal and operational systems, Mr. Motley.
Good evening, President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, members of the board. I'm Clark Motley, Elgin ISD's Chief Financial Officer. Typically, Mr. Land closes this for us, but tonight you guys have me. So I'm very happy to close out our information items. Tonight I'm presenting to you a priority 4 update. Priority 4.1 is ensure strong fiscal stewardship and operational efficiency. Sorry, there was a slide that wasn't there, but I don't think it's important. So priority is fiscal and operational systems. 4.1 is to ensure strong financial stewardship and operational efficiency. And then within 4.1, you have 4.1.1 and 4.1.2. The first is to align the budget to strategic outcomes and needs. And for 4.1.2, it's to ensure financial transparency to stakeholders through websites, publication, monthly financial reports, bond oversight committee meetings, and budget meetings. You can see the next column is the progress we've made for 4.1.1. I don't think that we will ever have this one green and met progress because it's an ongoing, it's just ongoing that we're working to align our budget to our strategic outcomes. But for 4.1.2, we do feel pretty good about meeting progress there as far as being transparent with everything we do. The final column is how we show we've done those things. I'm not going to read them here because the next slides will go over those items. So for 4.1.1, aligning the budget to strategic outcomes and needs, here's just some highlights. The approved budget calendar, budget priorities, and budget presentations for 26-27 fiscal year will continue to reflect priorities from Elgin's district scorecard. Elgin ISD has a healthy fund balance through sound fiscal management and monitoring. This past year, we added about $5.5 million to our fund balance, and that took it to about exactly $39,648,183, which is 223 days of operating and 61% of expenditures. This year, we did adopt a $1.8 million deficit, but are anticipating a large reduction in this deficit amount at year's end. We keep close relationships with campuses and departments to allow for facilitation of purchases and alignment with priorities from our scorecard. There's collaborative work with federal programs and teaching and learning department to ensure outcomes and needs align to priorities from our scorecard through regular state and federal programs meetings. And we also collaborate a lot with our program managers for the 2021 and 2024 bonds to ensure accurate financial reports for our bond projects. This next slide just kind of highlights the fund balance a little bit. Again, we added $5,548,183 to the fund balance in 24-25, taking our total to over $39 million. For a fund balance, the optimum level is 3 months of operating expenditures or 90 days. So this kind of gives you a picture of where we sit with 223 days. And then also the 25%, we are coming in at 61% of expenditures in the fund balance. So those are celebrations for the district. Continuing with 4.1.1, this year there was a lot that we took on. We transitioned from Ascender to Skyward for our business services in order to obtain a more robust and capable system to help manage our growing district and the financial organization requirements created by this growth. Our time tracking is more accurate and current. Employees are able to access financial documents easier, and our required state and federal reporting requirements are easier to gather and submit. Also this year, we moved our fiscal year start to July 1st, and this allows for improved operations at the start of the year, as well as allowing the district to be more prepared for students as they return from summer. For 4.1.2, ensure financial transparency to stakeholders. Here are some of the ways that we do that. Our website and other websites where we post required publications, our monthly financial reports to you guys. We have bond oversight committee meetings that we meet with. We have budget meetings. We report to you all on the school financial integrity rating system of Texas. We do have anonymous reporting of fraud available through Reach the E. And this is my first year as CFO, and normally, you know, you're going to have an audit, but this year we had 4 audits that we completed. Came in from the get and had the summer feeding program this summer. Our child nutrition director was noted as exceptional by the auditors in this audit. Of course, we had our annual financial report that we presented to you all previously. We also had an overall child nutrition audit. And I'm happy to say that breakfast in the classroom implementation was the best the auditor has seen. So kudos to HRE because that's the campus that they reviewed. And we also had an audit of our STOP grant. We are still finalizing our work with this audit, but have received positive feedback from the auditors on both the business and operational sides for the work carried out in this grant. So this is just a Mr. Motley slide. No one has done public education any favors financially lately. We have very hard work in front of us, but I feel it's important to recognize the positive. positives, and I want to commend the board and the district for the position we're in. It doesn't look like this financially in most districts across our state. And it's the goal of the business office to maintain the level of fiscal responsibility that has allowed Elgin ISD to weather these uncertain times and ensure stability for many years to come. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Motley. Okay, we got a couple of action items. First, discuss and approve overall compensation increases for the 26-27 school year. Mr. Motley.
President Mitchell, Dr. Ritter, members of the board, it's me again. How are y'all?
Long time.
Yes, sir. So I'm happy to present Elgin ISD proposed compensation increase for 26-27. Many considerations went into the development of the 26-27 compensation increase proposal. Enrollment numbers and property value growth are the largest factors in determining a budget for school districts. While growth in both areas are less than in recent years, Elgin is unique as one of very few districts in our state still experiencing growth in these areas. It's important to leverage our strong financial position while still being fiscally responsible and mindful of the future for our community. While there are still factors to be considered in our overall budget, we are pleased to bring this information to you all today for discussion and approval. The proposed compensation increase at this time, Elgin ISD administration is recommending a 2% a midpoint increase for all staff at a cost of approximately $660,000. I butchered that. I'm sorry. $1,406,660. There you go. Oh, sorry.
Make a motion to approve the recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Moss to approve the recommendation. I think Mr. Baker beat you in. Mr. Baker seconds it. Are there any other questions? All in favor of said motion, respond by aye. Raise your hand. Opposers? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
And I want to give kudos to my fellow board members because they are always at the foremost of their minds to do the very best we can for these teachers. So I always appreciate the robust conversations we have regarding that. So thank you all. Next item, consideration and possible approval of contract with TASB Executive Search Services for the upcoming Superintendent Search Services. Mr. George Casamas. Gotta get it right. Yeah. That's enough.
Yeah. Well, good evening, Board of Trustees. As he said, I'm George Kazanis with the Texas Association of School Boards Executive Search Services. Thank you for the invitation previously to visit with you briefly during your workshop setting. I thought tonight at this meeting, I would quickly go over the search process for the public so they understand TASB's approach to conducting a superintendent search. So again, during any time of the presentation, if you have a question, please stop me and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. So who are we? Again, TASB was established in 1949. We've celebrated over 76 years in existence. We were formed at the request of people like you, board members. And we are, of course, remain committed to our mission of advocating for educational excellence through school advocacy, leadership, and high-quality services. Of course, I'm here tonight to tell you, of course, Executive Search Service is a high-quality service, and we would love to work for you in the search for your next superintendent. We've been doing this since 1988, so we're the oldest firm in Texas to be conducting these types of searches. There we go. Again, I'd like to, in the audience, introduce to you Dr. Marion Strauss. She's our senior consultant. She'd wave, Marion. She's right there. And I've already introduced myself. And also in the audience tonight is Mr. Richard Kolick. Mr. Kolick is your field service representative from TASB. But one of the things too about our team is we are now part of merging the executive search and field service team together. And I have a team of field service representatives that through their network will assist in every search that we have. So the field service team are folks that visit campuses, visit superintendents, visit other staff members. They will be part of the advertising and promotion of any type of search that we do have. They will also be part of the vetting of candidates and providing information about credentials of the folks that will apply to your district. Again, that's a picture of the field service reps. When I did averaging, they all have over 15 years of experience themselves. They're retired superintendents, 30 plus years in public schools. We also have Joy Rivera. They're here in the Austin office that will assist candidates with their questions. Also assist if you have questions too along the way, being sure you have the up-to-date information that you're going to need when it becomes appropriate. We have served 800, closer really now to 900 districts in doing executive searches since 1988. We want to support and collaborate with you through all steps of the process. We are here to work on behalf of the board. This is your search. We have just a few key people here in the district that we work with. We're not burdening your HR departments or anything of that nature. Our fee is all inclusive, so all of the fees paid go back into TASB, which is a member organization, goes back into the public school systems of Texas to reduce operational costs in a number of services across the state. So again, our focus is to, again, provide services for superintendent searches. We've talked about this already with decades of experience. One of the things that we would love to learn from you, either this evening, start this evening, or come back later, is learn more about the unique needs of Elgin ISD so we can tailor the search to customize the search for you. And I'd be more than happy to do that so we can find the right leader that meets the goals of all of you as Board of Trustees. It was a pleasure to see all of the outstanding recognitions today, to see the outstanding variety of programming that you have and the student successes. So there's a lot, and as well as I will say that the outstanding fund balance. I'm very fund balance envious, if that's a word. When I was a former superintendent, that is very impressive of the balance. So you have so much positive in Elgin ISD that certainly would enable us to do well as your search consultant and bring quality candidates to the district. While we excel, again, our 90% success rate, so for 3-year retention rate, we're really sitting about 80% plus or 5 years in the district. And so we work really hard for that. We want to work with you with that and look at candidates as the right fit for you and the needs of the district. And so we want to bring that experience to you to help you find that right person. As I briefly mentioned about customizing services, it's really, truly, we want to help. We do have a process. We're proud of a process that works in terms of the logistics of a search, but we also want to be sure it's unique to you and to Elgin ISD and how we can help you do that. And that is, again, hearing from you, hearing from the board, hearing your hopes and dreams, your ideas for qualities, characteristics, traits that you're looking for in your next superintendent as well. We want to be sure that those are also, because of you as an elected trustee, that it does reflect local values and what you're searching for. The search process there, every step is intentional. I mentioned this to you before. We're open and transparent about the applicant pool. You will see all candidates, all candidate names. We'll certainly list them for you of those that are sitting superintendents first, deputy assistant superintendents, maybe executive directors, and then if any principals were to apply. So you see their top position they have held so far in education, just to give you the array of candidates that will be there. But trust me, we're working after visiting with you all, after community meetings and community stakeholder input, your online survey. We're looking as well, we're narrowing in our minds also some candidates that we hope you at least take a look at for your superintendent position. So the search kickoff, if you'll notice, that's why we're an action item tonight. If we are so chosen to conduct your search, we would like to talk about a timeline. We would like to secure commitments of dates. We would like to finalize and talk about qualities, characteristics, things of that nature that you desire in your next superintendent. And then finally talk about community involvement, what that looks like. As I mentioned briefly already about having an online survey, but we are graduating this Friday. So we know, and staff heard your party coming up. And so we need to talk about that and how to gather community stakeholder input throughout the summer, or if we look to push it off just a little bit to be sure we get that information that's vital. So during the search, Of course, we handle all of the advertising. We do all of your postings. Of course, it's with us at TASB. But one of the things I need to mention to you as well is that we do post in a number of sites. There's several now that are available to superintendent candidates across the state. We are TASB, so we are part of also a national group of other school board associations that conduct searches. So your search does get a national reach as well, because we have reciprocal agreements with those other school board associations across the nation. We are actively recruiting candidates too, as soon as you give us the green light to do so. Already talked about community surveys, but again, our application process is housed with us at TASB. And once the application period closes, you'll get the green light and have access to our portal to review all the information that is provided by each candidate. As I talked about, we're proud of a video component. I think it's very helpful. It's an opportunity, a short window into who this person is and how they respond to several questions. We work with you for the interview. We help you structure that. We help you design that. We do all of the scheduling, and then possibly when you get to your, we call person of interest, we can help schedule a site visit to that candidate's district if you so choose to do, so wish to do so. So the finalist selection, one of the things after the interviews are conducted, please understand this, I did not mention earlier, is that we also, part of our process is included as a third-party background check. So your top candidates that are invited for a second round of interview go through a third party, and that is when they're certainly screened criminal, any activities nationwide, countywide, citywide, credit reports are conducted, bankruptcy reports will be handled. We verify employment, previous employment, verify degrees, things of that nature too. So we just know that that we will take care of that before, of course, you name your lone finalists. In Texas, that requires a 21-day waiting period. So again, the first one is just naming of your lone finalists. It's kind of a 21-day cooling period before you actually come in to vote to hire the superintendent with the contract. So we're pretty close generally when we get to the lone finalist stage, but it'll be, again, working with the board or the board's designee, if it's so be the president or the board officers, about finalizing the contract in terms of salary and terms of that nature. One of the things we offer, of course, with TASB is the ability to provide continuing education credits. And so we would love to come out after about 3 months, somewhere between 3 to 6 months, and conduct a transition workshop. Team of 8, in other words, team building with the new superintendent and you. Be sure expectations are clear between the board and the new superintendent. Maybe get a great report from the new superintendent from his or her findings of their listening and learning along the way in the district and things of that nature. So our guarantee is for 2 years. After 2 years, if it's before 2 years, that your superintendent should leave for any reason, we'll be back. We want to be your partner, and we want to be sure we would relaunch the search and conduct the search again to meet your needs to find the right superintendent. So please know that we'll be here to do that. But we're confident we can help provide you this initial time with some quality candidates that will meet your local criteria. These are just a couple of different testimonials. I've said this before, we're TASB, and we are a member association. So we conduct searches of all types. So we may conduct searches of students of 130 up to over 50,000 students. But each one, as I keep reiterating, is unique and different. And we learn our communities, and that helps us in our recruiting and gathering of candidates in our different pools. So please understand that. And these are just some testimonials there. Now, I hope this next part, there's a sound issue in this room, so we'll keep going. You might have to help me get through these. Keep going. Keep going. There we go. Just a couple of search highlights, just to again reiterate what I was just mentioning about size of districts. Those are some of the larger districts. However, some, of course, they're in the 6,000 range, 7,000 range, and then of course some that we have conducted most recently. All right, questions? Any questions?
I just have one comment. We've had the opportunity to work with TASB in the past.
Yes, sir.
Superintendent search found them to be professional, feasible, easy to work with. And so I appreciate the
thank you for that
relationship that we have with you guys.
Thank you.
Any questions from any other board members? there a motion to approve this services?
I so move.
Motion by Mr. Baker, second by Mr. Barker. Any other questions? All in favor of said motion, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Appreciate you very much. Hope to be back soon, as I said, for our planning meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. It is 8:51 PM and the board will recess into closed session and reconvene as allowed under sections 551.071 through 551.084 of the Texas Government Code to discuss purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, Texas Government Code 551.072, to discuss personnel matters, Texas Government Code 551.074, and the discussion of interim superintendent application process and potential candidates. Should any final action, final decision, or final vote be required in the opinion of the school board with regard to any matters considered in such closed executive session or meeting, then the final action, final decision, or vote shall be in either an open meeting covered by the notice upon reconvening of the public meeting or at a subsequent public meeting of the school board upon notice thereof, as the school board shall return. It is 9:33 PM. The board will reconvene into open meeting at this time. During the closed meeting, only the items that appeared on the agenda were discussed. No final action, no final decision. A vote was taken during the closed meeting. So the next item we have is approval of the interim superintendent application process.
I make a motion that we post the position for the interim superintendent.
Motion by Mrs. Reese. Is there a second? Second by Mrs. Wilson. Are there any questions? All in favor of the motion to start the interim superintendent application process, respond by aye. Aye. Any opposers? Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. It is 9:34 PM. Motion by Mr. Moss. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Barker. All in favor, respond by aye. Aye, 9:34 PM, and we are adjourned.